You're currently tuned into TBD on the live stream, KCSB FM 91.9 in Santa Barbara and netnetradio.com Tijuana. I'm joined by my friend Lawrence in his band Dividers out of Los Angeles. Lawrence, what have you been up to the last year? Like, how was starting a band and a new project during COVID?
Oh man. I mean, in answer to what I've been up to for the last year, it's pretty much just been this.
Yeah.
Sam came to stay with me in probably last April or May,
Mm-hmm.
and stayed for 2 weeks, and we just kind of put down some rough drafts of some of these songs, and then it really came together when I came back with him to stay in LA for a couple weeks. We got the homies together to kind of fill out the thing, and basically just spent 9 months working on these songs and meticulously kind of making plans for what we wanted it to sound like. Uh, and then, now I'm just sitting here like, okay, what do I do for the next year? I made the record. I'm
Yeah.
so bored.
Yeah, that's tight, dude. I know Los Angeles is also like a very recent thing for you. How does it feel to get out of Santa Barbara, get out of the 805?
It's cool. I have an appreciation for the aforementioned 805 in a
Mm-hmm.
way because it's very mystical and weird, and I grew up there. But
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to my visual cortex really responds well to seeing new things, and
Yeah.
it's good to be in a place where I can get on any bus and just have some interesting experience. I love
Yeah.
it here. I don't see myself leaving for a while.
Yeah, dude, that's honestly sick, Lawrence. What prompted you to leave?
It was a lot. It was a lot at once. The primary motivation was that I wanted to make music,
Yeah.
and with some new people. Uh, I had a collection of individuals in Santa Barbara, most of whom have moved away, but I just kind of wanted to pursue the stuff I was doing with Sam. We'd been making electronic music together, some kind of like homemade, hand spun techno
Mm-hmm.
for a long time. And I just kind of wanted to have some more proximity to that, not have to like travel down, stay for a week, come back.
I hear
It was
that, dude.
like, yeah, I wanted the relaxation of being able to make music, but like also have my own space in the same place. So
Yeah.
it was just time. It was just time. I'd been everywhere I could possibly go in Santa Barbara a couple times over. So, you know,
Yeah, I hear that, dude. That's great. I mean, so what can you tell me about your project Dividers? I mean, I guess like first of all, I don't know how to like fucking like categorize you guys into like a genre. Um, how would you guys like genre yourselves? I don't know. I say
oh,
country,
God.
but like I don't know if that's right. Like I don't know what to say. Not that it
Yeah,
like matters, but you know.
yeah, no, like the original intent of this stuff was to be straight country, but really, really loud.
Hmm.
And we were really into Loretta Lynn, Kitty Wells, Hank Williams, all the classics.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting into this kind of mournful, you know, music,
Yeah.
and wanted to bring that kind of more to like a rave context, so that
Mm-hmm.
it's just a little bit more out there, for the
Yeah,
kids
yeah. Yeah, that's
who don't
tight.
run into that stuff otherwise. Um, as as we've been working this stuff out and adding more instruments and people to the mix, it's kind of evolved into something that's more rock and roll. I mean, the uh, both Sam and I really, really like the Dylan Basement tapes and like the band and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 13th Floor Elevators, Spaceman
Yeah, hell
3,
yeah.
uh, you know,
Mm-hmm.
rock bands.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear this stuff kind of progress from probably the only sort of on the nose country song we have left in the set is Hold Me Close. The rest is like, rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah, that's what
Um,
I was gonna say. The rest kind of like definitely has that like I guess psychedelic rock sound, I guess you would say,
yeah,
like
you
the
could you could say that. It's
yeah,
like super fuzzed out, blissed out psych
exactly.
country,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
I was actually listening to it. My mom walked in and was like, "Who's this?" And I'm like, "This is my friend's band. They're like country." My mom's like, "Sounds like soft rock."
Oh, roasted,
Oh,
roasted
she was like,
and
it sounds like
toasted.
country soft rock. She's like, I really like it. I don't think it's bad. Like, I don't think she meant it in a bad way, but it was just funny
That's
hearing
great.
a mom try to categorize it. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Soft rock. That's a new one. I haven't heard that since I've like thought about the radio. You know, that's like smooth jazz. That's one of those genres that only exist.
Mm-hmm.
You don't walk into a record store and hey, what interesting soft
Soft
rock
rock.
do you have here? No. No one says hard rock either unless they're old
No,
enough to be
no.
crazy on themselves.
Hard rock, if you say hard rock, it basically just means dad rock. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dad
Like some
rock. More
Boston, yeah, like Boston or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. More than a feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I get
Foreigner.
yeah, for real, dude. So I guess like how did you and Sam like meet? I know you guys go like way back.
We met through Kristen because they met on Tinder, and
Oh, really? I didn't know that actually.
we yeah, me and Kristen were kicking it. And she was like, along, brought along Sam, and Sam introduced me to a record called Ten Ragas to a Disco Beat, which
Mm-hmm.
was like contemporary or rather traditional Indian music that this guy like got a bunch of gear from Roland, like an 808, like a bunch of synths and stuff,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and just basically transposed all of these traditional like Indian, tracks
Yeah.
uh, into into some like crazy note for note correct
Mm-hmm.
like uh, proto techno, years and
Yeah.
years before Detroit or any of that,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, whoa, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And we connected over that, started jamming, and it kind of took off from there. Like um, yeah, our tastes are pretty different, but when they come together, they really come together, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw that early on. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'll keep it going.
So like how did I you already like kind of touched on like how the concept of like dividers came about, but like it's also like super different from like what you guys were like doing before. And I know in the past you would always show me like sick old like Patsy Cline tracks and like stuff like that. Just
Yeah,
like weird out there music. But for example, like some of your other projects like Dioxane like we've had on the show before, and then various punk bands that you've like done, or like your Forest Conifer and like your
yeah,
noise projects and just like the weirdo shit that like you do and you're into and stuff. How did like the country thing like I guess come into play with like both you guys, I guess?
yeah. So like, oh man, that's a question with a multi-layered answer. So like all of the kind of like shoegaze, punk, noisy stuff, like
Mhm.
a lot of that is more my thing than Sam's.
Mm.
Um, he can get down with some punk, but like that stuff is kind of my own. Like I that was the first music that I found for myself and really liked.
Mhm.
With stuff like Duster.
Yeah.
Um, and so like that was my perspective, and then Sam got me into Sam made me kind of follow down some electronic stuff that was like kind of tangentially in my head at the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
So we started doing that because that was what was most available. I mean, our first project together was called Sought, and
Mm.
it was like basically uh, guitars and open tunings and like broken synths, kind
Mhm.
of doing this like relentless krautrock thing. Like listening to a lot of like Noi and Can and stuff. Um,
Is this the project that you and Sam got into a brawl at Greater Goods at with?
that was Shafted. That was the punk band.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, yeah, that was another classic show. Um, but um, but nevertheless, yeah, no. So we started doing this kind of like very krautrock informed thing, and then that kind of progressed to electronic because just everyone in LA has some form of synth,
Yeah.
um, and that was just kind of what was around.
Mhm.
And then after a time, we both kind of not necessarily like got tired of making it, but just wanted to make something different.
Mhm.
Um, and Sam was talking to me about doing something with just like acoustic guitar and a drum machine, but he put together a mix of voice memos and stuff, just like odds and ends of stuff that we'd recorded called Hometown Hoedown. Um,
That's
and
sick.
put it up on YouTube, and that was the original genesis of everything, was that mix, because it was like bridging the gap between syntactics, which was the electronic stuff, and then
Hmm.
like the more country stuff that was to come. And then when we started seriously doing country music, it you know um, that came about because there was one time when I came and stayed with him that he just took me into a bunch of stuff that I hadn't heard before,
Yeah.
and it clicked with me. Like I grew up to an extent listening to some of Muddy Waters and like
Hmm.
some blues stuff, but um, Sam was the one that really pushed me toward realizing the sort of brilliance and universality of
Hmm.
country music, and
Yeah.
how it touches on like these situations that everyone has experienced, whether or not we live in a small community up in the mountains, you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm.
So I latched onto that, um, even though it was different from something that I tried to create in the past sonically. I
Hmm.
saw that, that sense of like longing and, you know, love that I was trying to express through a
Yeah.
more dissonant feedback laden way, was like also present in this totally underappreciated and cool, music
Oh yeah,
that
for sure. It was
no one's
all.
listening to out here. No one
Oh
appreciates it. No one
yeah,
knows what it is.
it was all still kind of there. That's fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. That's awesome. So I know you guys like said it was just like you two like starting to record this stuff, with like a drum machine and everything. How did you incorporate a full band?
So basically, we had some songs, and then it just we had a prototype version of this group that was going on in probably over the summer, last summer, I think.
Hmm.
Um, and it was just like all of us through one bass amp turned all the way up, and it was really like it was all just like really muddy and like crusted out and
Yeah.
like super reverbed out.
Hmm.
Um, and then we kind of decided to refine it a little bit more when came time to record,
Hmm.
properly. Um, we put out a single that was like it was a Kitty Wells song originally, and that
Well,
was just me and Sam, together recording, multi-tracking. And then after that experience, we kind of thought about like, okay, what, how can we fill things out here? So we
hmm.
have eventually added homie Dylan on slide guitar, Gibson on bass. Gibson played in lead. Our
Hmm.
drummer
Oh,
Ian,
okay. Yeah, I knew I recognized him from somewhere.
yeah, our drummer Ian is also from lead and the Freakies.
Okay.
Um,
That's sick.
he's the newest inductee into the family,
Hell yeah.
the big lovable dysfunctional dividers family. Um, and yeah, we've just been adding whatever is necessary to get that wall of noise going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
You know,
dude. That's honestly sick. So
yeah, we got Werner on tambourine.
I saw that
Werner's the
too, dude.
homie
That's so tight,
back.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sick. Yeah, you guys are like a full-on band. It's honestly so rad. I love it, dude. It's so cool. I mean, can you tell me more about like your record, like Once More with a Feeling? Like how did you like record that and stuff like that? Like it's just like something like totally like it's just the cleanest thing I think I've ever heard from like, your output before.
Well, yeah. Thank you. That's a high compliment. That was recorded in one night at Rec Center
Hmm.
in downtown, which is the spot that we've been recording at, me and Sam together for, much of our collaboration.
Yeah.
So it just kind of seemed logical to do it there. The homie Wade Blazer engineered and
Hell yeah.
just set up set up a bunch of mics, and the idea was pretty much to just capture the sound of the sound in the room, the sound of
Hmm.
the band being a band,
Yeah.
not a whole
Hmm.
bunch of trickery on top of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it sounds professionally recorded, yes, but like we wanted to keep that you know, live feel. The whole thing was done live, like even
That's
the
awesome.
vocals, you know,
Hmm.
because like going back to that basement tapes thing, like we're trying to get the cohesion of the unit playing together, you know.
So you guys basically just like recorded the whole thing as like a band rather than like track by track?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
dude, that's so rad actually. That's super sick. I didn't know that.
yeah. Some of the songs took 3 hours as a result, but we got it done.
Yeah, dude, that's honestly so sick, dude. I guess this is kind of sidetracked, but is Rec Center still alive? Like, are they gonna be hosting shows again? Like, what happened to Rec Center?
Rec Center is alive in some form. There have been one or two like punk shows.
Yeah,
It's not it's not really my place to expand upon the movements of the institution, but
yeah.
I would not be entirely surprised if we have not heard the blast from the Rec Center.
Interesting. That's sick, dude. Well, excited to see what comes from them in the future. So I guess like back to your record, you guys put it out with a label called like Primordial Void. Like, what can you tell me about that? How'd you guys get in contact with them? You know, how'd you do that? How'd you pull that off?
Yeah, so Primordial Void reissued one of Sam's records that
Mm,
like I helped with it, but it was mostly a Sam solo record. It was called Morning in America.
okay,
We recorded it in an Airstream that he lived in Boyle Heights for a while.
that's sick.
Um, and there was a dispute with the label that put it out originally, and they took it down. And Marcel, who runs Primordial, reached out to Sam on the gram, um, and was just like, "Where'd that?" So they
Yeah,
negotiated to put it out again. And then when we started to have some recordings of the country stuff, Sam reached out to him, and he liked it a lot. So that's how that ended up happening on that label.
that's
Um,
so rad.
I've never met the guy. He seems like a chiller. Marcel, homie
Yeah.
Marcel.
Yeah, dude, he seems like a chiller, dude. Like the stuff on his label is honestly really cool. I mean,
Yeah,
like what kind of music was Sam's solo record that you know, Marcel reissued?
it was like some techno, but like kind of kraut rocked out techno,
Yeah.
like pretty like handmade, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
just a Yamaha synth, some drums, effects, delay, you know,
Yeah.
whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Hypnotic, very hypnotic. Uh, I mean, like he always says that the electronic stuff is like desert tropicalia,
Mm-hmm.
like you know, just like some kind of very dried out, you know, but like still like fruits and stuff
Yeah,
hanging out on the trees.
like an
You know?
oasis or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's slightly busted sounding music because
Yeah.
we're working with busted gear, but it's still danceable, you know.
Dude, that's so tight, dude. That's sick. I'll have to check that one out as well on Primordial Void as well. Um,
Yeah.
I also saw that Tingo Tongo did your guys' tapes for that record.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be correct. He duplicated the tapes for uh a tape called Evening Party Music that
Mm-hmm.
Sam did with our friend Chris a while
Okay.
back. Quiz.zzz. Great tape. I don't know if it's still out there, but that's how that connection came about. And
That's
then
it.
we just hit him up again to do it. He did a great job.
Yeah, dude, those are so sick. I can't wait to get mine in the mail, dude. I love the multicolored what's it called? J cards, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You guys are getting airplay on like the BBC, dude. How does that feel?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Um, that
So
that song
rad.
House of Rumination that got on there, like that's one of the ones that I have the most vivid memory of writing with
Yeah.
Sam. Like
Uh-huh.
that was one of the first Dividers songs, and like we were both staying in Werner's apartment at the
Mm-hmm.
time, just like which is right near you know right smack dab in the midst of Hollywood, and just like the feeling of like do we sit inside, you know, or
Yeah.
do we go outside and look at all of the absolute abject depravity that is there to be seen on the boulevard?
Yeah.
You know, that's what that song was about. Was just about kind of the emptiness of LA and the
Yeah.
emptiness of Hollywood.
That's tight, dude. So like it
But
feels
yeah, no. In answer to your question, sorry.
No, you're
it
good.
feels really good to know that it makes me feel like the playing field is pretty level
Yeah.
when something that we wrote in, the depths of hell, uh, together and with very limited resources, just
Yeah.
like you know, ends up impacting someone enough that they want to put it on state funded radio. That's
Yeah.
chill. I
Yeah.
know that I know that guy. It was like John Peele's son who played it, and I know he found it through.
Really? That's fucking sick.
Yeah, yeah, he found it through. He also played something off Morning in America, same
Mm-hmm.
label, and so then he found the other record, I think, through that. Um, but yeah, no, it feels good to know that my solo was heard by some Brits.
Did you tell me you're also getting some airplay on like WFMU or something like that as well?
Jeff Conklin,
Okay.
who uh, was a vocal supporter of our record, played it on his show. I think that's what I was probably referencing.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
that's sick, dude. Yeah, I think that's insane that you guys are getting like all this hype. Like, how do you think like Jeff Conklin, like all these other people found this? Like, I just think that's wild.
hell if I know.
Like, yeah,
um,
that's like
yeah,
so that's
I think he specifically found it on Twitter. I don't know
oh
about
really?
anyone else. I Yeah, we've been sending it out to, blogs and stuff as much as we can, but
Yeah.
it seems largely to be
Yeah.
pretty organic hype, which is the best kind of hype, as you and I know.
Oh, for sure.
Um, so, oh yeah, there's an ice cream truck that looks like a armored car.
Oh,
Cool.
oh, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you see something new every day on the streets of Los
I
Angeles.
think I saw one of your tweets that was like, what's it called? LA Transit is like you either sit next to
Oh
the
yeah,
person with scratching an actively bleeding leg or someone like actively thrashing about, something like that. It's something new every day. You
yeah.
see something new every day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, truly. And every time I go on the red line, I see, something that I would have thought completely like, outside of the realm of possibility. But here we go. I mean, I always think about I was on a bus in mid city and I got saw Sam was with me, saw a guy like drinking motor oil,
Oh
you know.
my God, what? That's crazy.
It's like coming from Santa Barbara, it's weird.
Yeah, a little weird when you grow up in a little suburb near the beach when you go into a big city like that. I really
Yeah.
hope that the guy drinking motor oil is okay.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I
Yeah,
mean, I
I'm
choose to believe that he was merely using it as a receptacle for vodka or something,
yes.
which I guess isn't that much better, but like if you're gonna die of alcohol poisoning, that's a little better than dying of motor oil congealing around your spleen.
Let's just hope that he's like part car or something like that. He's part transformer, something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. It'll just elevate to the level beyond human.
Yeah. Anyways, Lawrence, I guess that's like all of like the questions I had about your band. We have a couple like fan questions. Should we go into those?
Or you
Let's
have fans.
Dude, you guys had some fan questions. I posted that up on the gram and some people responded. So,
Okay, that's fun. That's fun.
yeah, dude. So, I guess the first one, if you had to be any inanimate object, what would you be?
Does that include food?
I guess it could be a food.
Okay. I've thought about this a lot, and I want to be a light bulb, but I want to be a light bulb that's like behind a Safeway or somewhere where people like don't go unless they're hiding something, because that's when you see the cool stuff, like
Oh, yeah.
just like people dying and skating and like you know
Yeah.
making out. Who knows?
Yeah, that's
Like
that's tight. Um,
yeah,
for some reason, when you asked the food part and you said Safeway, I was kind of thinking you're gonna be like, I want to be a light bulb, but the kind that keeps food warm, or something like that.
that would be like a pretty chill backup plan, honestly, like when you don't get accepted to your dream school, but like there's the safety school,
Yeah.
like I'd be down to be a chicken lamp.
Yeah, I was gonna say a chicken tender lamp, dude.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
That's hilarious, dude. Uh, here's another one, dude. So PBR or Colt 45 or other trash beer?
Neither, none. Um, Pacifico,
Oh,
uh,
respect.
or better yet, wine.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong, dude. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I don't know about that Colt 45. That's not really my you know, that's
Yeah.
all Werner, just like shotgun.
That's
No,
that's all that's so sick, dude. I love that for Warner. Shout out Warner and his Colt 45s. I can
yeah,
respect you not digging those because I can't say I would like those either, honestly. But if I
yeah,
had to choose one trash beer, I think I would go with Rolling Rock because I mean you can't go wrong with Rolling Rock. You know what I'm saying?
right, right. And it makes me think of the what was it, the Greek myth of Sisyphus, like rolling
Yeah.
the rock up the hill,
I
you
actually
know?
don't know that part about the Sisyphus, but which one is the Sisyphus? Is that the one where they like seduce you? That's like all of like those like thing. I don't know what's
No, that was the dude who like he did something, I don't remember what. He was doomed to forever like roll a boulder up a hill, but then
mm.
every time he got near to the top, it would roll back down, and he had to go down and do it again. And that was
Oh.
just like his eternal punishment. So I always like want to pour one out for the homie
Oh
Sisyphus.
my God, that's so funny, dude. The Sisyphus beer, dude. That's so good. I mean, it kind of is a punishment when you start drinking those when that's all you got and you just start going for it, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a
Yeah,
punishment. Um yeah, dude, that's hilarious. Every time you crack a new one, it's like you're at the bottom of the hill, you know?
yeah, exactly. You drink to forget you're drinking Rolling Rock.
Exactly, dude. That's so funny. So here's another one, dude. Your favorite record right now.
Oh God, that's a hard one.
It's
You're
all
really gonna do me like that?
it's always hard. Whenever somebody asks this question, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a doozy. Somebody's got to ask something like that though, every time. That's how it goes.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me a second to go through my iTunes library because I just deleted the entire thing and replaced it with a bunch of other stuff.
Do it.
And I know that there was something in there, but I can't for the life of me remember
I'm
what.
excited to see just because Lawrence always has like the best, most like obscure and always not obscure, but just like the best like records, I'd say. Like always just text me something like that I would have never thought to look up and it's just
Hmm.
tight.
I think I'm gonna have to hit it with "Born to Be with You" by Dion.
Oh hell yeah.
Are you familiar with that
I
record?
don't know if I'm familiar with that record to be honest. Tell me about it.
Um, okay, so it's like basically you could say soft rock almost. Um, it's the guy's it's the guy's 14th album from 1975,
Oh, that's
and
rad.
yeah, and like the guy used to do doo-wop, and Phil Spector found him when he was doing doo-wop and was like, "Hey, let me produce your next record." So like most of it is produced by Phil Spector,
Yeah.
but it's this like it's surprisingly lo-fi for being Phil Spector. It's weird. Like the songs are almost kind of like outsidery,
Mm-hmm.
like just something's a little off, you know?
Yeah.
Um, he has this one called I think it's In Your Own Backyard, where he's just straight up like, yeah, I used to like be a crazy junkie, and now I'm not anymore, you know?
Dude,
But it's like in this like mid 70s radio friendly production,
dude, that's
you know?
honestly really sick.
It's so weird. And if you just look at the cover, like you should put up a little graphic of the cover here somewhere when you're in
Yeah,
the editing
I'll
room.
drop this in,
But
yeah.
like, yeah, but like he just looks like that man has seen some things in his life,
Yeah.
you know?
That's so rad. So, what album do you say? This is like the 14th album?
Yeah,
How
yeah. It's his 14th album. It's called Born to Be with You by Dion.
so is this like a famous Dion record or like how do you even come across the 14th? Like I feel like the 14th record is usually the kind that like you're going through like a record store free bin and you're like, "Oh, dude, I know this name. I know this name. You know, I know Dion. I'll take this."
Exactly, actually. I find most of my music now from this blog called Opium Hum,
Okay.
and the guy works at a record store and just like rips everything and posts it,
Oh,
and
that's
has been
rad.
has been like 20 times a month since like 2014.
Yeah.
So I found it through that, but I'm always down for a good record store dollar bin hunt. Um,
Dude,
I
there's good
found
stuff
a
in there.
yeah. I found a Mickey Newbury record in there once. It
Mm-hmm.
was really scratched, so I didn't get it, but still cool. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm about it.
So you said that blog is called Opium Hum?
Opium Hum, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check that out, dude. I'll have to link that in the description too or something. That sounds sick. I should find some music there.
Yeah,
Uh,
massive archive, and they just have everything. The dude has a ridiculously wide-ranging taste, from like really like sick black metal to
mm-hmm.
like jazz and everything,
That's super.
crazy avant-garde, like, anything you can imagine.
That's so tight, dude. I guess speaking of like, I guess like record store finds, dude. Are you familiar with Windham Hill?
Yeah, that's like 80s like kind of easy listening stuff, right?
Yeah, like easy listening, like almost like acoustic, like classical, like piano,
Yeah,
acoustic guitar stuff.
yeah. I used to have a Windham Hill sampler tape, and then I recorded over it because I was like 15 and didn't have any idea what it was or why I would ever need it.
Yeah, dude. So Maddie McPherson, they were telling me about, just Windham Hill stuff. And then like we interviewed this artist, Andrew Weathers, and he has a song that he recorded with this other artist, Hayden Pedigo, called Windham Hill Summer Bangers. And I was like, oh, dude, must be. Yeah, and I was like, dude, must be. I know Windham Hill Summer Bangers is hilarious. And I was like,
That's
dude,
really
I
funny.
must check it. I guess I have to check out Windham Hill at some point. So I was flipping
Yeah,
through like the dollar bin, something cheap, dude, and came across like all like these what's it called? Windham Hill samplers, dude, for a
yeah,
couple bucks.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're
exactly what
ubiquitous.
you had on tape, but on vinyl or whatever. And I just picked up one and it's honestly rad, dude. Like you can find stuff in like the dollar bin and the free bin that like, you'd usually just like skip over because you're like, oh, dude, this is like weird looking, but like, dude, it's rad. Like it's honestly cool.
Yeah, that's half the fun of record collecting.
Yeah. It's just like finding, I don't know, just stuff that you would never listen to and you pull it out. It's probably going to be a banger. I was actually talking to Jess about this recently. I was like, we were at that record store that day and I was like, dude, there's so many records here in these bins.
Hmm.
And there's a reason that they were put on vinyl. Like, I bet
Right.
we could pull one of these out and it would probably be kind of sick, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, anyways, yeah,
Oh,
record
that's cool.
collecting. It's just fun, dude. You can find all kinds of weirdo shit?
Yeah, I had a dream one time about the like green fields out by UCSB,
Yeah.
and I dreamt like I was just looking at this like scene of all of these plants, and it was like overdubbed in my head with some super reverbed out like dollar bin show
Uh-huh.
tunes record.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it was or if it was real, but like that's what I always think of when I think of that, is just like some crazy like scratched up obscure Polynesian big band,
Yeah. Yeah.
play.
Yeah, dude, that's yeah, for sure. That's so sick. So I guess Lawrence, we have one more fan question. You ready to jump into this?
I'm ready, but I have a feeling I know what it might be.
Hold on, it's not that one. It's not what you think it is yet.
Okay. All right,
So
all right.
this one's just kind of it's how did you choose your name? How did you choose dividers, I guess. That's the one.
It wasn't me. I was maybe initially a little skeptical, but now I love it.
Yeah.
Um, it God, it was just a result of someone being like, "Hey, you should call it dividers," but like it's like a highway divider, but then like also like divisive, like band politics in the pursuit of creative perfection.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I like dividing other stuff too. Like I heard if you mail in 2/3 of a dollar bill to the mint, they'll send you back a full dollar bill.
Oh,
Um,
what? That's kind of wild. That's kind of sick actually. I've never heard that before.
yeah, yeah, facts.
Anyways, yeah, divisive, dude. That's tight.
Yeah, I don't know. It's what it is.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. I dig that. Anyways, Lawrence, I guess we have one more question. And
Okay.
that's the one that you've been waiting for. I'm sure you've been waiting the
Oh,
entire
thank
interview
God.
for this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So, I know you've already answered it before, but I guess you're gonna have to answer it again as we do on TBD.
All
A
right.
rat is going to jump into your mouth. Do you want this rat to jump into your mouth head first or butt first, and why?
You know,
What did you answer last time? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but I think this time I'm gonna have to go with head first
Yeah,
because I feel like, okay, so here's my logic. If I have a rat and the rat's going to be in my mouth, the rat is not going to fit in its entirety in my mouth. So
yeah,
I'm going to have to look down the bridge of my nose at some part of a rat. So I figure if it goes head first, then I'm just looking at the back of the rat, and there's no rat booty either that I can really see because it's facing the other direction.
yeah,
Whereas if I am also seeing the rat's back, but its butt is in my mouth, then I have I'm still not seeing its head, but then I have the knowledge that there's a butt in my mouth.
yeah,
And that just makes the whole experience like even worse than it is already because I guarantee you I would not have gotten out of bed with the expectation that I would have to field this scenario.
yeah.
So I think despite the inherent risk of my uvula being bit off, I think I'm gonna have to go head first because I would rather run that risk than have rat butt. And
I hear that, dude. I also, someone on the show once was like, I have pet rats, dude. They have huge balls. And I'm just like, oh, dude, if you have a rat butt in your mouth, you're probably gonna have huge rat balls in your mouth too. I don't know if that'd be very pleasant. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, that doesn't sound like my idea of that good at the time, you know?
Yeah, and then you got the tail going down your throat and stuff. It's just,
Right.
it doesn't sound
Yeah.
pleasant, dude. And then, like,
Oh,
there might be feces involved,
yeah, I definitely like have to make some pasta afterward to like, you know,
to wash
I
it
might
down.
I might even drink PBR if there was a literal rat ass in my mouth.
You might just
Like,
have to. I feel like I might even go for a Colt 45 just to get the taste out of my mouth?
yeah, honestly, honestly.
That's hilarious, dude. But I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to go butt first, Lawrence, even though we just had this discussion about why a butt would be disgusting or a rat butt would
Okay.
be disgusting in the mouth. Just because I'd want to be nice to the rat. I don't want to kill it. Like, what if it was a mistake that it got there in the first place? So, and I would
Well,
want to tame it, calm it
mhm.
down, put it underneath my hat, and then just cook some ratatouille after.
There you go. There
You,
you go.
you know what I'm saying?
I feel.
You
I
can you,
feel.
you can't go wrong?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm down. I'm down.
Hell yeah, dude. So, anyways, Lawrence, where can people keep up with like your music and I guess just all things dividers and stuff? Like, where can people keep up with it?
I don't know. AOL. We don't have the gram yet.
Yeah.
Uh
What
that's
about
actually that's a legitimately good question. Um it'll come to you. I mean, it'll be
it'll
impossible
come
to
to you?
avoid. It's going to be like Beatlemania.
Oh, hell yeah,
Uh,
dude. Dude,
yeah.
Dividers Mania, they're gonna take the world.
Yeah.
They're gonna have
Yeah.
fangirls chasing after them and fainting soon.
We transcend the internet, It's just like it's like McDonald's. You just walk and then you hear it
Yeah.
most likely like on any street corner in the world coming out of a cheesecake factory.
Oh God, that's hilarious. So anyways, Lawrence, I wanted to ask too, why no social media? We're just against that shit? Is it
It's
because of Mark
it's
Zuckerberg? That shit's evil. It brainwashes you.
I mean, I'd like to say yes, but I have a personal Instagram which I recently made because I felt too isolated without it.
Yeah.
But like strategically speaking, yes, absolutely, I agree with you, and I'm waiting for the cyberpunk uprising
Oh
and
hell
for
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that man's head to be detached from himself.
Yeah.
But until then, it's just because there isn't a divider's Instagram. It just feels too on the nose.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like we'll probably make one at some point, or like a website with like a .info and some hyphens in there
Oh,
just to
that'd be
make it
so
feel
rad.
underground.
Yeah.
But like yeah, no social media for now. Just because like it's a whole nother thing to keep track of, and you make the post
Yeah.
and you
It's a lot of work,
you
dude.
know it's like
It's a lot of work, dude. I guess I'm looking forward
yeah,
to a Dividers Web 2.0 page.
yeah. It's gonna be Web 1.3 actually,
Oh,
but
Web 1.3?
yeah, But no, in answer to your question, I guess probably the only thing that your viewers can look forward to is the possibility of such things eventually being linked to in the description of Once More with Feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe question mark, I don't know. Google it.
Yeah, just Google
Dividers
it,
Los
honestly.
Angeles.
If you just Google dividers, you'll find them. So wait, is web what point 3? Did you show me that one time? I feel like you might have.
That's not real. There's Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and then I don't know if we're in Web 3.0 yet. I know
What was
there's HTML5, so
wh-
that's something that's further than I ever thought it would go.
what was the the weird one that you showed me? That weird, really old one, I believe.
Uh, God, I've showed you a bunch of stuff. It could have been NeoCities, it could have been Tilde Club, it could have been web.archive.org, it could have been Angelfire, it could have been Tilde Club, it could have been Tilde Town, it could have been hackers.cool, it could have been um, yeah, I really like the old internet, so that could have been a lot of different things. Um,
Dude, that's so sick. Please make an old internet dividers website. I'd love that shit.
I'm pretty down. I'm pretty down.
That'd
Yeah,
be tight.
we'll get the tiled background, you know? It'll just be like Spurs.
Oh hell yeah. That'd be so rad. Honestly, that would be so sick. Like I would back that so heavy. That'd be so tight.
But,
I would
uh,
literally just like I just devote like my entire like presence just to do check out this awesome website with tiled what's it called?
yeah.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you have any last remarks you want to put in the airwaves and the archives?
Uh, at the end of the day, it all comes down to rock and roll.
There it is, dude. All comes down to rock and roll. And I think that's all we have for today. Thanks for tuning into TBD on KCSB FM 91.9 every Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. and NetNet Radio every Saturday, 4 p.m. out of Tijuana. This is Lawrence from Dividers from Los Angeles. Thanks for being on the show, Lawrence.
Thanks for having me. Bye.